Hey guys, it's Simon here. Thank you for tuning in on my video about building my dream compact pedal board with great stuff from Freethetone, Origin Effects, and Xotic Effects. It's right here, and I'm going to show you in this video a time lapse of me building this board. I'm going to give you some sound examples. I'm going to give you my top 5 tricks and tips for building a pedal board like this if you want to do it yourself. And of course, I did write an original track, so let's check that out while we watch the time lapse. Alright you guys, in case you want to have my top 5 tips and tricks for building a pedal board like this, here we go. The first one might seem really obvious because that's about layout. Make sure you got your layout figured out before you start putting things on the board, putting them down with dual-lock, Velcro, stuff like that. Make sure every pedal is working the way you want it to and they stack the way you want it to. Make sure that the Wah pedal is not causing any trouble with the power supply, adding hum or noise and stuff like that. Make sure you can reach all the pedals, especially the pedals right here sitting on the back. Maybe you need some pedal risers, stuff like that. So make sure everything is working and you're able to reach everything with your foot and everything is sounding the way you want it to before you start putting them on the board. Okay, so my second tip is about this box right here. And the reason why I have this on the board is because that allows me to patch things in and out of the board. Right here, I usually patch in a volume pedal, but I could also patch in like a new overdrive or something I'm testing. And the new overdrive will be after the compressor, this booster, and this overdrive, but before my EP booster and my wet effects. So I can test new stuff without tearing the board apart. And this box also allows me to send out to my 2 stereo amplifiers. I'm using a Fender Bassman right here and a Komet 29. And the third thing is that it has MIDI inputs, so I can go MIDI in through this box and into the future factory delay. It's cool to have something to patch in new stuff on your pedal board without tearing the board apart. Alright, so tip number 3 is probably not even a tip or a trick, it's just the most important thing to know about making a pedal board. You need to have great patch cables. I mean, it should be pretty obvious, but sometimes I meet guitar players that use a lot of money on guitars and pedals and amps, but don't want to spend the last bit of money on having great patch cables. And you need to do so to get the best out of your pedal board and the best out of your pedals. You want to have that tone all the way from your guitar to your amp. And now there are plenty of great patch cables out there. You just need to find the ones that you really think sounds the best. I've used the Belton patch cable, sounds great. I've used Van Damme, I've used the Xotic cables. Lots of great cables. And right now, because this board is really small, I wanted to check out these really small patch cables from Freethetone and these solderless plugs right here. And they sound really good. And the great advantage about these are that the plugs are so small, you can really save some space on a small pedal board like this one. I think it's worth checking out. So tip number 4 is really important, and it's about buffers. If you want to have a pedal board like this one or even bigger, you need to have, in my opinion, at least one great buffer on your pedal board. And you probably have guitar pedals with built-in buffers already. So in this case, on my pedal board, the Cali 76 compressor has a great built-in buffer. The super sweet pedal that I have down here, the boost pedal has a built-in buffer, and the RevivalDrive. So I have plenty of buffers. The Wah is not buffered, and I'm going straight into this Wah from my guitar, and then I'm hitting the first buffer, which is in the Cali 76. Now, I did a video recently just showing you what a buffer really does and how it makes a difference. Let me just patch in a little clip of that video and you can see for yourself. So the fifth and really important tip of this video is make sure you don't run out of power. I'm using this Yankee right here. There are plenty of great power supplies out there, but you want to make sure you have one with isolated outputs. You don't want any daisy chaining. I mean, it can be done, but with isolated outputs, you're really home safe. And this one has a lot of power, and you want to make sure that you have enough power to feed every new pedal on the board, especially the new digital ones. They can really suck out a lot of power. So make sure you got a great power supply, and then you're good to go building your own killer dream pedal board. Okay, so let's check out some sounds. Now, I have made demo videos of every pedal on this pedal board right here, except for the Ambi space, and I will make one really soon. So if you want to check out the full demos of these pedals, just go to my YouTube channel and check them out. Really cool pedals, and they're all my favorite stuff right here. So what I'm going to do in this video is just going to show you how I sort of thought the board to be working together. I mean, this section over here is kind of like my main amp tone with the compressor, the booster, this overdrive that has two overdrives in one pedal, and this EP booster. That's kind of like my main amp sound, and I'm using every pedal together, stacking them to get the tones that I really want. So let's just start absolutely clean, and it's just this sound. So I have a clean sound and just a great sound. And if I activate the Cali 76, that's kind of like my clean sound, and I also use the Cali 76 to add some sustain on lead tone. So my clean tone. Just a really great sound. And now I have this on all the time, or I might have this on, which is the first side, the silicon side of the RevivalDrive. And I have this set up really low gain. Just a little bit of bite, and then I can add the compressor to that sound for this kind of crunchy, bluesy sound. And if I add the delay, it's just really great open sounding, kind of crunchy, yeah, the sound. I really love the sound with the delay. So this is my starting point, the Cali compressor. It's almost always on, and then I have the RevivalDrive, just a little bit of gain. Now, if I activate the super sweet booster with just a touch of gain, it's another kind of clean sound. If I turn it off and on again. So it's just a fat, clean sound. If I want to have a boosted sound with no compression compared to the Cali 76. The super sweet on its own. Just a great warm tone. And of course, I can have them both on. starts to break up just a little bit. Now let me just jump to the EP booster. It's a similar kind of sound as the Super Sweet, but just a little bit warmer. And now the trick with the EP booster is as you turn it up, you really push the amp. So now it's all the way up and it sounds like this. Really great sound. Adding the Super Sweet before the EP booster. So now without adding any overdrive, I actually have a pretty gainy sound. If I jump to the other side of the RevivalDrive, the valve rectified side, I just have a little more gain on this side. So that's like my starting point for my overdriven tone. It's the valve rectifier side of the RevivalDrive. And of course I can add the Kelly in front of that. Or I could add the Super Sweet in front of that. Or maybe both. So now by combining these three pedals, I get a lot of gain. Of course, I can add the EP booster after everything for even more push on the front end of the amp and a little warmer tone. And I've not even started activating these two switches over here. So this is the blend override. And I have a blend knob right here, and that allows me to blend in some clean tone. And that's what I have going right now. If I activate the blend override, this will go to the 100% gain. And also there's a mid-engage on both channels. These two switches works. They work on both channels, the silicon and the valve side. So now I have the mid-engage on too. For a little more cutting sound. So by using the Cali, the Super Sweet booster, the two settings on the RevivalDrive and the EP booster, and these switches right here, I have a really big variety of from clean to really dirty sounds. And this is all using a T-style guitar with kind of, they're not really high output pickups, these pickups right here, but I can get, if I want to, a really great amount of gain. So that is my drive section, and this whole section right here is kind of like my main amp sound. Let's take a quick look at my time-based effects over here. It's the Future Factory delay and the Ambi space from Free the Tone. And the Future Factory delay is really the reason why I decided to redo the board. It's just the best pedal stereo delay I've ever tried. I really dig this delay. So let me just show you how I'm using these two pedals and give you some sound examples. Again, I made 4 videos with this pedal. You can find those on my YouTube channel. But just to start with the reverb, I'm kind of a simple reverb guy. I enjoy having a plate reverb on almost all the time. Just a great reverb, and I have 4 presets right here, and that's all I really need. And I will, if I jump through the presets, I'll get more reverb going from preset number 1 to number 4. So if I go to number 2, which is a halt preset, so it's a longer preset than number 1. Going to number 3, it's a spring reverb, which is louder, and this really nice spring. Really like the spring reverb. And then number 4 is this cave sound, which is a really, really long reverb, kind of like a mix between a delay and a reverb like this. You can hear all these repetitions right there. So if I add the Future Factory delay, I have some really big sounds right here. So those are really, really huge sounds for just, you know, specialties. Sometimes it's nice to have something like this to fit into a track. If I go back to preset number 1, the plate, and just show you my settings on the Future Factory delay. The delay type, or the preset I would use the most, is this one I have at preset number 1, and it sounds like this. Whoops. Like this. It's 2 different delays. One is at 760 milliseconds and the other is at 480. And it's a stereo preset. You will hear the delay bounce back and forth between the left and right speaker. And I also have a bit of modulation on, as you can see right here. Depth is at 16 and radius is 67. So it's a modulated delay with 2 different delay times. And it was this delay that I used in the first song in this video. I really enjoy having a delay like this. So this would be my kind of my go-to delay. And the second delay I have right here is a different thing. It sounds like this. And the third one is, you'll hear this 651 milliseconds. It's kind of a weird delay time. But anyway, this long delay, it's on one side, and the other one is as a quick slap back. Like, and this delay is running in series. So the first delay, the slapback, is running into the long delay. But it's more subtle than my preset number 1. So you won't hear it as much. If I switch to the stereo version of this preset, and you listen to through headphones or great speakers, you will have one delay in one speaker and the other, the long delay, in the other speaker. So it's a great option with this delay that you can have your delays in stereo, or you can have them running in series. If I'm playing through only 1 amp, it's a cool thing to have. And this one is just a quick slapback. So it's like a really short reverb sound. And together with the Ambi space, it sounds really, really good. So the last pedal I just want to quickly talk about is this great wah pedal right here. It's the Xotic Wah. And ever since this pedal was released, I've been using this wah as my go-to wah pedal. It is, in my opinion, the best wah pedal on the market. It sounds absolutely killer. It sounds vintage like I wanted to, but it just has this killer sound. And with the 4 knobs on the side, you can really dial in any kind of wah sound that I would need for funky stuff, and also, you know, dirty stuff. If you want to check out videos of this, I've made several videos of these. You can find them on my YouTube channel. And go check this wah out if you haven't tried it yourself. Well, folks, there you have it. My new 2019 small pedalboard with a bunch of good stuff packed into a really tight space. I hope you dig it, and I hope you dig all the sound examples too. And if you're into Free the Tone, make sure you hit subscribe on my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, make sure you get notifications, because really soon I will be making a comparison video with the flight time delay and the Future Factory delay. Make sure you catch that video. And till next time, take care. See ya.